SoFi, Palantir, Microsoft, three of the most famous stocks in America, and right now, all three are crashing. Literally thousands of regular investors are doing the single most dangerous thing in the market. They're buying the dip on names like these without knowing whether they're catching a gift or a really painful falling knife. And the part that nobody tells you is this. When a famous stocks you love drops, your gut sort of screams bargain. And sometimes it is. And sometimes that feeling literally wipes people out. So talking of SoFi, let's talk about SoFi. So SoFi is down like 40% from its high, right? And if you owned it on the way down, it's been pretty bloody painful. And you know I talked about SoFi a lot. I used to own SoFi. I don't anymore. I haven't for quite a while because I had an exit rule. I had a system. So let's run through the system we have here. Question number one, is money flowing back into it? Yeah, gradually, a little bit. Compared to the rest of the market, it's actually improving. SoFi has gone from being abandoned to being somewhat chased by institutional money. So the water is sloshing back towards the SoFi end of the tub. Question number two, which side of the line is it on? The price has clawed its way just above its short-term trend line. The longer-term trend line, the 150-day, which I just mentioned, hasn't fully turned up yet. But the downward trend has stopped, right? So we're looking back at something that's starting to climb. So it's sort of greenish with a bit of amber in there. So it's a little early. For me, it's a little too early to pull the buy on it. I would personally wait. If you look at the stock chart, maybe we can put one on the screen for you as I'm talking about it. I'd wait for it to rise above the recent highs. Because just because you think the worst is behind it doesn't mean that's actually the case. So I like to wait for that confirmation. So SoFi, recovering stock, it's on my watch list rather than on my buy right now list. This is the one that's going to make some of you mad, because I know a lot of you guys love Palantir, one of the most sort of loved AI darlings in America. And I owned at Summit at some point. Again, I don't right now. And it's down pretty hard too. It's down 45%. And the Palantir, faithful are screaming, buy the dip, right? And I love the business. It's amazing. They've built something that's truly incredible. But that's not how I invest my money. Let's run the light system. Question number one, is the money still there? Astonishingly, yes. The crowd hasn't really left. The business is still growing. And then we look at question two, which side of the line are we on? And that's the problem. So despite all the love, the trend has rolled over. Price is well below its 150-day moving average line. It's turned downwards in terms of slope. So it's just not something I would ever touch. It is a clear red flag for me. And then the third question, is it resting or is it crashing? And it's been, grinding for quite a while, sort of sideways downwards, still slipping downwards. So lots of love in there. But the trend just says, no, it's a trap. So Palantir is, at very least, an amber. Great company, wrong moment. And it's one of the hardest lessons in investing. So last one here. And this is the one that's going to get me some angry comments. Microsoft, it's the biggest, most respected software company in the world, on the planet. And before I say anything else, look, long term, Microsoft is an extraordinary business. Over 400 million paying subscribers. Office, Windows, cloud, Azure, gaming, everything, right? Single biggest AI bet on earth of any company. They've committed to something like $190 billion to AI infrastructure. So one day, this dip is going to look like a gift. And I would genuinely love to own more Microsoft at the right time. And I want you to own it at the right time. So with a company this great, surely a 25% drop is a screaming buy, right? But that's what everybody is telling you on social media. So let's actually run the test instead of guessing. Let's run the three light questions here. So question number one, is the money flowing in? No. Money is quietly leaving. Against the market, Microsoft is lagging. It's what we call a relative strength is negative. It's actually the weakest of the famous Magnificent Seven stocks right now. And the water is draining away from this corner of the bathtub. And then you look at question number two, which side of the line are we on? And this is the killer. Microsoft is trading below every major trend line, and the long-term trend line is sloping down. And by the standard definition, this great company is in its own private bear market, right? Price under falling line is literally black ice for investors. And then question three, Is it resting or is it crashing? This isn't a quick rest. It's a slow, steady, grinding decline that's been going on for months. The trend is down. It's still pointing down. Basically, we're seeing red, 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 red. Greatest software company on earth is right now a falling freaking knife. And yes, some people are buying it. Michael Burry is apparently bullish on it and all that sort of stuff. Well, guess what? He was bearish on Nvidia. Nobody is right all the time. So don't buy something because one person tells you to. I don't sell it either because I'm telling you I wouldn't want to buy it. You've got to come to your own conclusion. But say this with me. A great company is not the same as a great stock.